We have this new skid steer behind me for just over a year now. We just hit the 500-hour mark, and I thought I'd do a quick review on how I like the machine. So we'll do a walk around. I'll point out roughly 10 things I really like about the machine, and then 10 not so, well, not that I don't like, but things that Cat can improve on for maybe the next series. I'd like to give a few suggestions. I got it written down on my phone here. So we'll go with the pros first. So the first one that I see is the best in the industry, in my opinion, is these booms here. They're thin, and you can see out the bottom quite a bit. There's quite a bit of clearance, and out of the top. And I'll show you the visibility. So when you're sitting in the cab, you can see very clearly the corners of the bucket. And I tried going in, what was it, a Case or New Holland, I skid steer before we bought this one. And it just wasn't, you couldn't see the corners. They just had too much stuff in the way. They had, I think they had a big wiper motor here, and the hinges were somewhere kind of lower here. You couldn't quite see the corners. Cat has the best visibility out of the front window and out of the side. Like, you can see the tires. And that boom doesn't take up a whole lot of visibility out of the sides. So I think that's a real good pro to have. You can see pretty much your back tire, your front tire. You can see very clearly where you're going. So that's a huge pro in my opinion. It's the best in the industry. It beats John Deere. John Deere has a really big, thick boom. You can see it online. So we'll go to the next one here. What do we got here? Okay, number two. Number two is the joystick upgrade from, I don't know when they changed these. They got a better feel to them, a little bit more sleek. Yeah, I think they're a good upgrade from the old ones. Because the old ones had like kind of a rubberish kind of feel. And when you're in the sun after some time, after some hours, it just started to kind of wear out. So hopefully these ones will stand up a little bit better. Operating controls are very smooth once the oil's warmed up. I find when the oil's cold, the machine's very jerky. As you can see here, the response time of the joystick on a cold hydraulics is a little delayed. On my old machine, it wasn't like that. You need to let it warm up. Maybe running thinner oil maybe would help, but in the cold startup, when you're running this machine, it's very non-responsive to the controls. So I don't know if that's a hydraulic motor issue or if that's just simply running maybe a thinner oil in the winter. I'm not too sure. Number 4, I'll show you some of the exterior pins. These pins here and the metal here is got lots of thickness. The pins are really easy to replace. They're pretty heavy duty. What else can I say about the pins? I don't know if you can see in there, but it's pretty good. Like, got some good steel on it. So the rear camera on this thing is a real help. And I'll go slightly into the cons here, kind of mix it up a little bit. But if you look at this skid steer, the back window there, I would say the bottom third or bottom quarter, you can't see out the back. That's one thing I don't like about this thing, is that window, you got this big, I don't know what this is inside here, but it's got the fan and the rad up top, and it's got that afterburner cooler in the back there. So I think they had to raise all this up because of it. But that's a big con in my opinion. You can't see nothing out of that rear window at all. So you have to have this rear camera, and I'm getting used to it. But without that rear camera, you'll have a hard time backing up. Like, that window, I don't know, they got to do something better with that rear window. Like, it's not really even point having that big window because you can't see out of a third of it. So they have all this here in the way. Like on my old one, it never had all this stuff. Like, I could see very good out of the rear window. So you can see that pretty much where that button is, this button here, that's pretty much level with the top here. So you see where that button is, you're missing pretty much, I'd say a third of your visibility out of the rear is garbage. So I'll just show you the backup camera, how it looks. That's how the backup camera looks. It's a must when you're backing up. 100% need that camera. As I said before, this rear window, you can't see nothing out of that thing. Absolutely nothing. It's absolute garbage. Suggestive opinion to get that fixed somehow. One thing I like to see CAT improve is, as you see this display here, to me it's from the early 2000s, mid 2000s. If you look at other competitors, especially Case in New Holland, Case did a really good job on their display. Make it more user friendly. That's what I like to see CAT do on the next machines. Just make it a little bit more user friendly. And another good feature of this machine is you got good cab space. Like I got lots of room here. When you're bouncing around on this ice and stuff like that, it's you got a nice seat, very nice seat. We got a cover on it because we wanted to keep the seat in good shape. It's got very good ventilation. This cab never fogs up at all. You got nice sliding windows. Another thing that I like to suggest to CAT or to Finning is with the quick connect. This is a real big thing for me because I'm disconnecting buckets to forks to different attachments on the farm here. And one thing that I had before is I went into my bucket, I was feeding, but I didn't connect the bucket, like the quick attach, and the bucket fell into the mixer wagon and it really screwed everything up. Put something in the system where it doesn't allow you to lift your boom up to a certain height without those pins locked, or at least on the display give you a warning that'll beep and saying, hey, your pins are not locked. I had it before where you think it's just a safety thing, just to have that bucket locked onto your machine before you go and do stuff with it. That it would just give the operator a warning. Because yeah, I had it where, like I said, the whole bucket went into the mixer wagon and just banging around in there, wrecked the wagon, wrecked the bucket. And even if you have it up in the air and it comes off, and yeah, I had it a couple times now. So either this thing here, that's your quick attach. I don't like this thing because you have to lift up and then push. Would be very nice to incorporate it on a joystick, which would be nice, you could put into here where you can program buttons. Like this button has no feature, like I don't know what it is. This trigger here, I don't know what that does. I guess it's for secondary, I guess it's for a luxury 3 or whatever. But it would be nice to integrate programmable buttons that you could quick attach your buckets, and just different other user-friendly things, like even like the tractors nowadays. They have these computers in their tractors, and you can program every single button customized to what you want. So that would be a really good feature to have in this machine on next release or next models, to have a better display with the option to program your buttons to what you want it. In case you didn't want this button to do what it's doing, you can program it to do something else, versus maybe on this side, like this one has, a nice label of horn. That's your slow speed. But these buttons here, you can program those. This is your turtle and your rabbit speed, or your 2-speed button. So that's handy, that's good. Yeah, just on your quick connect would be nice. Instead of reaching up to here, you could just do it easily on your joystick. So that's a feature I would really like to see. Is for some reason these red handles, if an operator is not familiar with getting out of here, I don't know how. Like, I've had it once before with an employee. They thought to get out they had to turn these. I know it has little labels there or whatever, but in and out of this machine, I mean, those things there you could hit off pretty easily. Like those things turn really easy. So I mean, it'd be nice to have like maybe a push button or something that would prevent you from turning these, because then the whole glass comes off. And I had it before where, you know, you get out of the machine and your knee bumps those red things, and then that glass comes off. I don't know, something happened and he couldn't get it figured out to put it on. I wasn't around, and this whole hinge here got ripped right off. So that would be maybe something to do, like integrate like a push release kind of, so you can't hit that accidentally. Oh yeah, cab air filter, another thing. Cat's got to find a different spot for that thing. Put it up higher. This is a poor spot to have it. Your tires and your dust are right by the cab in filter, and this thing constantly gets plugged up. Get this filter and put it up higher by the cab somewhere. Get it out of by the tires. That's a bad spot for it. Well, just one more thought on the unlocking pins here. I'll go sit back in the cab here, talk about it a little bit more, because I think that's a really important thing to upgrade or to do something different. Number 5 here, locking button needs a light. So here I'll show you what I mean by that. Is you see these auto controls, that's your auto boom where it self levels. If you push that on, you get this little symbol here to show you. So what I mean by having a light show up on the dash here, like this one, there's another one that shows up with the hydraulics when you want constant flow. So you press that, then this thing flashes, and you hold this button here, you hold that, and then that one will stay on, and you hold that for 2 seconds. So you see those two little symbols there on your display. Why can't we have it so when your 2 lock pins, I'll lift up the bucket so you can see. Not sure if you guys can see that, but let me see if I can open up the door. You see those lock pins, those red ones there? So that's how the hydraulic quick attach works. And wouldn't it be nice to quickly glance at the screen to show you that, hey, your quick attach is locked in or it's unlocked. Have an unlock symbol or a lock symbol somewhere on here would be good, or a security or a safety option that you would only be able to lift, let's say a certain height, let's say up to about here, where it would beep at you and give you a warning on the screen saying, hey, your attachment is still unlocked. So then you would have to go and stop, press this button, those pins would lock in right about there, and then you'd be able to lift up higher. I would really like to see that option on the next series. Let's see what else I have on my notes here. So it's the following day here. You can see behind me there's some fresh snow, but there's one thing I forgot to put in this video. There's quite a bit of space in here, especially in the front, where a lot of material can go underneath the cab. And then this thing here, once the cab lifts up, it'll lock into here. And as you can see, you can kind of do it one-handed. Oh, didn't lift up the booms high enough. Try it again. I think there's a safety thing here that we'll put down. The boom comes down, which is highly unlikely, but there it is. Now we can try this again. One-handed. Lift it up. The reason why it's so easy is we got this this lift cylinder here that's gonna help us lift the cab. So here we go. One-handed. And then it should lock into place right there. So now it's locked into place. But as you can see inside here, there's a lot of debris. Lots of debris all over. It's just packed full in here. So much garbage. It would be nice if they can seal this compartment with something, just like they seal a door. And if for whatever reason they have it open so that these drive motors cool off, or this motor needs to be cooled off, add a little cooler. There's lots of room in here to put a little cooler to cool off all these hydraulics. Here's the weights, def tank, but like you can see, it's pretty covered in crap. But yeah, this is what I'm talking about. It's just full of just junk. So it'd be nice if Cat were to seal this compartment up, put a seal over here, so it can just get right airtight, or maybe not airtight, but or put like a breather of some sort in there, because that can cause like all that moisture. So here's a breather. I'm not too sure where that's from. Huh. Must come off a line somewhere. Have to dig around and see where that comes from. One more quick thing I want to point out. The lights. Good LED lights. However, they should have did that with these ones too, with the red ones. So I got a burnt out bulb already. Would have been nice to put one on the side here. Maybe add those in the next series. That'd be nice. Yeah, if you're gonna go LED lights on a skid steer, go all the way. Get rid of the bulbs. Just red lights, like rear lights. But other than that, it's been a really good machine. It's a really smooth operating machine when the oil's warm. What else can I say? It's a Cat. Once you go Cat, guys, you're never gonna go back to any other brand. I tell you that. I've had Bobcat, had John Deere, drove a Kubota. If you sit in a Kubota, the cab just seems like it's gonna fall apart. Even when it's brand new, it's just noisy in there. Everything rattles. John Deere's got a pretty decent cab. I like it. It's probably the second choice I would went with. But Case really improved their interior, their display. I believe there's programmable features you can do on those. Really like to see Cat do that. But we'll see what they come out with next. But overall, the service was easy to do. It's overall a good machine. Will I buy another Cat? Absolutely. Next machine will always be a Cat. I don't think I'll ever go back. Till the next video, guys. Cheers.